Hello and welcome to Sports Tavern Talk. I'm your host, Elijah Yola. With only about a day away before the NFL draft starts, we are wrapping up the AFC West division and then moving on to our final division soon. But right now, let's stay in the AFC and talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, who finished third place in their division with the 6-11 record. Quite an unprecedented season that left Mahomes and the Chiefs stumble upon themselves with injuries, foul-ridden plays, and much more. Personally, I didn't think the Chiefs would fall this hard, but the Chiefs have definitely hit a wall and are looking back to rebound for sure into next season. There were quite a few questions on whether the Chiefs offense can get back to the form and if the defense can get back to what it was when losing so many of their defensive players in the secondary. For now, let's take a look at what the Chiefs did in free agency to address their main concerns. Looking back at free agency, there were tons of concerns for the Chiefs roster. On the offensive side, there was the question of whether or not they could fix the receiving room and bring a pure running back to bring that running game to life, in which I believe they answered those questions. They were able to sign Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker to a 3-year deal worth $45 million. That's already a great piece for the Chiefs to add to bring that running game to life, since the help of Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt were not enough. As for the receiving options, they did re-sign wide receiver Tyquan Thornton, and longtime Chiefs player Travis Kelce did re-sign on a 3-year contract, which most likely will be his last contract of the career. As for the defense, they did bring in Chris Tonga for the defensive rotation on the line. However, the main problem was the secondary. They had 3 players leave the team and are scrambling to figure out how to fix it. They did sign cornerback Kaiir Elam to a contract with the Chiefs and safety Alani Gilman from the Ravens on a 3-year contract. That does bring some stability, but it is not enough to fix the secondary. The Chiefs could not work out a long-term deal with cornerback Trent McDuffie, so instead they traded him away to the Los Angeles Rams and in return got a massive haul of draft picks that included the 29th overall pick in the draft, giving the Chiefs 2 first-round picks to work with. With both these picks in different spots in the first round, they can really use it to work on getting a top secondary player on the cornerback position and another receiving option for Patrick Mahomes. That being enough said, they can have a great rebound with this draft and get back to their winning ways into the next season. So for now, let's take a look at the mock draft that I set up for the Kansas City Chiefs. Looking at the mock draft, the Chiefs now get the 29th overall pick, including a 5th and 6th round pick this year and a 3rd round pick next year. Looking back to the point then, having the 9th overall pick, the Chiefs would select Caleb Downs to help improve the secondary position. And then going from 29, I would have them trading up to the 18th pick for them to select Kenyon Sadiq, giving them a top tier tight end prospect weapon for Mahomes to throw to. Then, with no 2nd round pick, they go to the way until the 3rd round, where they would select Malachi Fields, the wide receiver out of Notre Dame, and a running back in Emmett Johnson that be a number 2 behind Kenneth Walker. Then the 5th round, they would draft back-to-back cornerbacks in Hezekiah Massis and Ephesians Prysock to help bring more youth and rotations for the secondary. And then finally, for the last 2 picks, they would draft another edge in Quintavious Hutchins, and then a quarterback, which is not, for me, is a little surprising, but it makes sense, as a young backup option behind Patrick Mahomes. With the selection of both Caleb Downs and Kenyon Sadiq, the Chiefs now fill in the 2 most important positions, in one giving Patrick Mahomes another weapon to throw to, and he can take over for Travis Kelce once he retires, and Caleb Downs fills in the spot in the secondary at the safety to help bring the secondary back to life. They also did use more of their picks to bring in more weapons for Mahomes and more secondary help, while the rest of the picks can be on their own. However, let's talk about the first 2 round selections, starting off with Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs, standing at 5'11", 206 pounds, is the total package at safety, with elite instincts, positional versatility, and championship level maturity. He also showcases high football IQ that translates film study into on-field success, has cornerback caliber movement skills to play fluid in coverage, and can match up receivers and tight ends. He also has such explosiveness that allows him to get off blocks and break down in space with impeccable balance, and tackles with controlled violence, precision, and excellent communication with the secondary. Throughout his college career, he has tallied 249 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, and 6 interceptions between Alabama and Ohio State in 2 top-tier programs. This shows already instant starter production that the Chiefs could surely use in both in coverage and in blitz packages. And honestly, with Steve Spagnuolo, he could certainly use a player like Caleb Downs to help him out in the secondary. As for their second first-round pick, Kenyon Sadiq is a 6'3", 241-pound tight end. But overall, he is the clear number 1 tight end of the entire draft, a versatile, athletic player who combines blocking prowess and receiving ability that makes him a force to be reckoned with. He is a mismatch weapon that can play anywhere on the field, has an excellent vertical jump to high point contested catches, and shows strong blocking that can be used as a 3-down player. Not to mention, he's also a smooth route runner against linebackers and safeties with good body control and adjustment skills, while also being dangerous after the catch. The Chiefs already have tight ends Travis Kelce and Noah Gray, but adding Sadiq to this kind of offense would make it even more explosive. Sadiq can easily overtake Noah Gray for the tight end number 2 spot, but he can easily be lined up as a wide receiver out for the offense. It can certainly bring in lots of big plays for Mahomes and Eric Bieniemy, who return as the Chiefs' offensive coordinator. Certainly, if the Chiefs were to find a way to fix that secondary once again and bring that offense back to life, the Chiefs will certainly rebound and become back to being the cream of the crop of the AFC. And certainly, that's my expectation for the Kansas City Chiefs. They should be able to go back to being a 12-plus win season next year, especially with Mahomes coming back from an ACL tear. It might be tough for them, but I trust the Mahomes and the Chiefs get back to where they were supposed to go and return to the playoffs while being one of the best teams in the AFC. That's all the time for today. Thank you so much for watching Sports Tavern Talk. Please make sure to leave a like and a comment on your thoughts on the video. And please make sure to always follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and on X. And make sure to keep a lookout for my final mock drafts coming out through Instagram and X right before the NFL draft starts. And as always, I will see you next time.